I want to say to you, particularly if you are from this part of the world, I'd like you to know that whether you are a believer or you are not a believer, you are born into a theater of war. There's a whole lot that needs to be done that was not done before you were born. That means that if your head is going to ever rise above the waters, there's so much that you will need to do. It was Solomon that was called the man of peace. And Solomon principally became a man of peace because the man before Solomon was a man of war. It was the wars of David that made it unnecessary for Solomon to become a warrior. And so the man David was the one who said, I have been young and now I am old. I have not seen the righteous forsaken, and I have not seen his seed begging bread. The possibilities and the realities that are attendant to the righteous, as far as guarantee is concerned, is different from what is guaranteed for their seed. The righteous may not beg bread, the righteous may beg bread, that's not guaranteed. What is guaranteed is that the righteous will not be forsaken. I have been young and now I am old. I have not seen the righteous forsaken. I have not seen him forsaken. And I have not seen his seed beg bread. The seed of the righteous is a category. And there are some of you here, you are first generation righteous. I've not seen the righteous forsaken. I've not seen his seed beg bread. The righteous will not be forsaken. The righteous may beg bread, believe me. It was David that wrote the psalm. David begged bread. You know, there was a day David went to the house of Nabal. You remember? What did he go there to do? You think it was courtesy call? David and Nabal were not friends. They were not colleagues. Nabal did not invite him. David went there and codedly went to beg. He said to Nabal, all the while that your guys, your workers were in the field, we took care of them, because David was leading a band of people that the government at the time would consider a bandit, a group of bandits. David was outlawed. So he said, in the wilderness where we were, we saw your headsmen. We took care of them. We protected them. Now it's time, and you are sharing your sheep. It is time for celebration. Can you please give us something to eat? David was righteous. At that time, the oil had come on his head. He had been anointed in the midst of his brethren. But I have been young and now I'm old. I've not seen the righteous forsaken. That man will not die before his time, but his life was hard. You see, David was 70. And if you heard the story of his life, you would have thought he was 120. At 70, the man was so battered that on his dying bed, the Bible said he was so cold, he could not get heat. The man was shivering. David died at 70. But if you read that story in 1 Kings chapter 1, you will not believe that was happening to a 70-year-old. Meanwhile, Moses was starting destiny at 80. I'm trying to say to you that you need to, something need to rise in your spirit tonight. It's called hunger. There is hunger of a right sort. From what I've said already, you know that I come from this area. I come from this land. And I know what it is. When the Bible says darkness covers the earth and gross darkness the people, I know what it is. I know the warfare against darkness. And I can tell you that that war, you will fight it in installments. Because at every transition point in your life, you are going to have to prove yourself a man again. At every transition point in your life. I've been young and I'm old. I've not seen the righteous forsaken. And I've not seen his seed beg bread. David begged. He was righteous, but he was not forsaken. The righteous may beg bread. Their seed will not. What is guaranteed for the righteous is that he will not be forsaken. His God will not leave him. And with his God, all things are possible. many of those possible things will not be easy. Hello? Do you know that God never promised anybody ease? No. The only guarantee you have from God is possibility. That if you grind it long enough, it will break. That's the only guarantee you have. You know how the Bible says, ask and it shall be given, and doesn't tell us how long to ask? It is that the only guarantee you have is that if you keep asking, a point will come when it will be given. Are you desperate enough? Are you hungry enough? Are you tired? Have you had enough?